doing? Street Talk and other stuff. Mike, Maddog, Magnotti, thanks for being here this last day in July. Now, I got a question. There's no answer for it, but why do June, July, and August go so much faster than January, February, and March? I don't know. It kills me. But hey, I got a good show for you today, but one of my favorites is here today with another special guest. But before we start, I want to tell a story about Texas. Now, one day, this cowboy, he rides his horse into Longview, Texas, and he stops at a bar, and he gets out, and he has a beer, and the locals there like to play pranks on strangers. So when the cowboy finishes his beer, walks back outside, he sees that his horse is gone. So he walks back inside the bar, takes a look around, he pulls out his gun, he fires a shot to the ceiling and says, "Okay, I don't know which one of you sidewinders stole my horse, but I'll tell you, I'm gonna go over to the bar, and I'm gonna have another beer. And when I go back outside, if my horse ain't out there, I'm going to do what I done in Abilene. And I tell you, I do not want to do what I done in Abilene." So the locals look around a little nervously like this, and the cowboy walks over, orders his beer, he finishes, he slams the mug down, takes one last look around, and he walks outside. Sure enough, his horse is there. So he gets on his horse to ride off, and the bartender comes out and said, hey, friend. He said, "What was it you had to do in Abilene?" And the cowboy looked at him and said, "Well, in Abilene, I had to walk home." Okay, Street Talk and other stuff. Mike, Maddog, Magnotti, you stick around. We got a great show. We'll be right back.
Wowee! Collins Fashions has all your needs for summer events. Cool tanks and tees, Bermudas, skirts, capris, ankle pants, embellished jeans, pretty sundresses. And ladies, we have amazing special occasion dresses for your weddings and cruises. All washable in many flattering styles and colors. Collins has over 100 different styles of sandals and shoes for your lifestyle. Tommy Bahama for men and women is in stock and weekend special order just for you. Come in soon to your Brighton headquarters where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Health Alliance Northwest. Theater Under the Stars presents The Miserable Phantom of the Opry, happening Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. in Chelan. This musical comedy mashup parody mixes two Broadway classics with country music. Chelan Junior Rodeo is this Saturday and Sunday at the Chelan Rodeo Grounds. Children, teens, and in between will compete in 52 events from mutton busting to pole bending to calf roping, barreling, and much more. For more information, visit ncwlife.com.
At Doghouse Motorsports, we ride what we sell. There's a lot we could say about the CD Spark and the CD GTI, but ultimately, the ride says it all.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Okay, we are back, and I'm very, very happy to have my good friend, Mr. Jaime Donegan, back on again. Jamie, nice to have you, buddy. How are you, Mike? And he is just half of the dynamic duo of Jaime Donegan and Don Fox. Mr. Don Fox is here today. These gentlemen are the ones who are responsible for the Hot August Night Show that have been rocking this town for the last 8 seasons.
This is our seventh year.
This is our seventh year.
Show, yeah.
Well, I want to get right off to talk about the show that we're doing this year that opens this Wednesday night.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I want you to tell me about the show and why people.
What do you want to know?
I want to know. You know what I want to know.
So, well, you want to talk about the show, or you want to talk about getting tickets? What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about all that, okay? First of all, tell us the name of the show.
Okay.
And tell us why people should come to see it.
Hot August Night Show is Hands on a Hardbody. It is a musical, a Broadway musical. It was on Broadway 6 years ago. And it is based on a documentary by S.R. Bindler about 10 people standing in a car dealership lot with their hands on a Nissan Hardbody pickup truck. So that Hardbody isn't what you think it is, just so you know.
No, I know you're thinking it might be,
You thought it might be
something to do with me.
but yeah, it's not Mike either. Neither of us. And so the contest is these wonderful characters that are there for a lot of different reasons, and they are vying to win this truck. And it's a little slice of the American dream, you know, trying to make something of their lives and make their lives better.
Now, this is not a real well-known show, though, right?
No, it's not hugely well known.
But okay,
it's a beauty.
It's a rocker.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this music is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is music from the heartland. That's the best way I can say. It's got a little bit of country, a little bit of rock, a little bit of gospel, a little bit of Broadway-ish stuff in it. And gosh, the creators of this, Trey Anastasio from Fish, the band Fish, Amanda Green, amazing songwriter, lyricist, and Doug Wright, who wrote the book for this, and he's a Broadway star, Pulitzer Prize winner, amazing.
And we open...
We open on Thursday, August 1st.
Okay, now look.
Woo!
Okay, trust me on this, and you know I've never steered you wrong. This show... It's gonna rock you. You're gonna like it. Okay, so you go to Numerica Pack. Just go on Google, Numerica Pack. It'll bring you right to where you can get tickets and that type of thing. There's lots of tickets still available, but what's been happening with these Hot August Night shows? They run 3 weekends. What's been happening the last 2 weekends?
Sold out.
Sold out. They run 3 weekends. The first weekend, everybody that sees it loves it. The word gets out, and the last 2 weekends sell out. So we want to encourage people to come see it in this first weekend.
Yeah.
Get your tickets for the first, second.
It's kind of funny, one of our sponsors this year came on board. He said, because by the time I think to get tickets, they're already gone, so I'll have to be a sponsor so I get sponsor tickets.
Exactly.
So I love that. And yeah, people say, oh, you know, I'll wait and see, if you don't get them, you're going to be sorry, because this is a beautiful musical.
Yeah.
It has something for everyone, but it has relatable characters. You will know these people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you will understand them, and you will relate to them.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about, I'm gonna take this, I'm getting hot already. That's what you're gonna love about this show. The songs are absolutely gorgeous, and you have hilarious moments, and you have poignant moments, and dramatic moments, and I'm just really excited we are excited to bring this to Wenatchee for the very first time. We like doing that. We like pushing people, oh, you know, it's great to see all the shows that you love and know, and you go see them, but to go see something new,
this is...
it opens you up to something in this show you are going to fall in love with.
And you know, not to be critical, but with some music, it's kind of schmaltzy the way the music is played in with the characterizations. But in this one, the music just expands the characters and their personalities. It really, really works well. You're not suddenly watching two people or people going on in a scene and suddenly they break into a song which makes no sense.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, I mean, it's the stuff... I mean, just rehearsing has brought me to tears a couple of times.
It's real.
And I'm not kidding you. Really, it's really good.
Very real. These characters and their songs, they hit every slice of life. Like you said, it's like Americana through and through. We had our first rehearsal with the band last night.
My God.
And they are phenomenal. And what I really appreciated last night in having the band there was that not only is each of these songs a feature for these characters, but each of these songs has a feature for each of the different players in our band. So we've got a song where you hear that cello. We've got an amazing cellist, Ari Friedman. You hear Gretchen Woods on the violin and other songs. You got Steve Clem. You got Ted Scanlon and Angela Richmond on our guitar and bass section, and Jameson and Marilyn on keyboards, and all under the direction Domingo Gonzalez. Every one of those players gets a feature in this show, and you're wrapped up in that music. And we've got fantastic vocalists in the cast. It's
and our drummer Ben Chambers.
That's right.
Yeah.
What, 3rd or 4th year for him?
It's
just great.
And that is just the band.
That's just the band. Yeah.
You got some heavyweights in the cast too.
We do.
You really do.
We have some beautiful and fine voices, and not just voices, actors.
Storytellers.
Storytellers that bring these characters to life, and we get to know them, and we care about them. We get mad at them, and we sympathize with them, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's one of those shows where even by the end of the show, you're rooting for the antagonist that you thought was the villain all along. But by the end, you have so much sympathy.
Don't
wanna-
tell anybody.
Okay, I won't tell anybody.
I mean,
that.
you really-
this is not the real Don
It's not
Fox.
happening.
You really end up loving everybody in this show. You really do. I mean, they're warm, likable characters, okay?
Yeah.
They're not just people that are up there singing songs. But.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so just
Yeah.
a little bit. How'd you guys start working together? Because you've been doing this for
I met
some
Jamie
time.
in 2006 when I was the technical director at what was then the Performing Arts Center of Wenatchee when he came to town to do a Follies production. And we worked together that year on the Follies, and we did a couple other Follies, and I did one in Yakima with you also. And in 2013, I was looking at the PAC calendar and looking at my own calendar and called her Jamie and said, "What are you doing this summer?" He said, "I got nothing." And so we said, let's
Unemployable.
Unemployable. So well, let's cook up something in Wenatchee. And so we came and we did the very first Hot August Night show, the Rocky Horror Show live,
Right.
and it was a huge hit. And the then executive director of the what is now Numerica PAC said, "Okay, we got to keep this going."
Yeah,
And so now we're 7 years in after doing some great shows, and you know.
It's really great. I just, I think I told you this before, but I came to do the Follies almost 19 years ago for the very first time. And I remember the night that I walked onto that stage for the very first time, and I thought to myself, I want to direct shows here, not just the Folly shows. So I put it out to the universe that very night. And it's happening.
How all did the universe respond?
You know,
Yeah.
if you don't ask.
Yeah,
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And,
So-
and miracles happen when you do something.
And meeting this guy and realizing what he is capable of in production and production values, it just takes everything to another level. And last night it was kind of fun because he hasn't even added his magic yet. He was starting.
I was pretty impressed last
I
night.
know he was just playing around with a couple little things, but he hasn't even laid his hands on this, other than the set. He, put the set together. But when he does, you're gonna see something that is mind-boggling.
Yeah. Okay.
Visually, even without any kind of real stage lighting, this is a gorgeous production.
Oh, absolutely.
I was sitting up there going, I'm good. I am good. I'm not even going to lie about it. Let's just put it out there.
And I got to agree with him. This show is good. Now, again, this is Hands on a Hardbody. It opens this Wednesday night.
Wednesdays are soft
Final
opening
dress,
for
yeah.
sponsors and press night and invited guests, and then Thursday is our opening.
Okay.
Yeah, real opening.
And all you got to do, Google Numerica PAC, okay? And you go there, tickets are there. And trust me, get them, okay? You're not gonna be unhappy, okay? You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be a great show. And it's just fun, What's one of the really cool things about this, what Jamie and Don always do, is that you're not sitting out in the seats in the auditorium. You're actually up on the stage. So you see the actors up close, you see their facial expressions, you catch all the little nuances, you hear everything they say.
Yeah, it's very intimate. I saw Hands on a Hardbody just this past spring in a big proscenium theater where the audience is out traditional auditorium style and the show's on stage. And it was a fine show, but what I was missing was that intimate connection to these characters.
Right.
And I think that our production, where we have the audience fully in the round, surrounding the action of this contest on the truck, really makes the audience feel like they're spectators at that original contest.
They're involved.
And they're very connected to these characters. Yeah.
Now, maybe I shouldn't say this, but one of the things, it's so intimate that Jamie warned us last night, don't put your butts in the audience.
Yeah, we have to charge extra for that.
We're going to try to avoid that a little bit.
But it is that sort of center ring under the big top kind of a feel, and that the audience is spectators, audience members and spectators to this contest. And that was the whole purpose of these contests, and they continue around the country, was to bring people in to the car lot, to get people there. And so that spectator thing is a big deal.
Yeah. No, and it works really well with you sitting that close. I mean, it just enhances the experience. And, a number of people, friends of mine, have never come to a live theater show before, or in the past they have. And after they come, they just say, oh my God. Wow.
Right there.
I mean, we're so used to movies with special effects and that kind of thing. But when you come to see a live show that does have a lot of good dynamics and character interaction. People are like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah,
They really like it. So, okay, we're going to be talking more with Don and Jamie in a minute. So I want to talk more about what their parts of the production is, how they come together, how they come to work together, that type of thing. But hey, we got to take a break. But Street Talking other stuff. Mike, Maddog, Magnotti, you stick around. We will be right back.
My name is Ralph Sorensen, and I own Homestead Vinyl Products. We make vinyl fencing. We manufacture the vinyl fencing here. We also sell and install vinyl fencing.
Along with that, Homestead Vinyl Products sells cedar, chain link, custom-designed vinyl pergolas, arbors, gazebos, and ornamental fencing. To view complete projects, check their website, homesteadvinylpr.net, or stop by their showroom in Entiat on Highway 97A.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Did you know that nearly 50% of pet poisoning cases involve human medications and prescription drugs? Sometimes the culprit's a curious dog, but cats get into their share of trouble as well. Other times, pet owners mistakenly give their pets their own medications that are safe to people but toxic to their pets. Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff care about your pets. Go to pawsandclawsvh.com for a complete list of medications to avoid or call 888-PAWS.
Hey friends, this is the Discovery Center at Rocky Reach Dam, where things look exactly like they did in the 1960s. Say cheese. Turns out the way people learn has changed a lot since then.
Gee, Pop, that lecture was swell.
It's about time to create some new and exciting ways to interact with the story of the PUD and our valley. We'll be closed next year while we make some magic happen. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted on the journey.
All right, we're back. We're talking with Jaime Donegan and Don Fox, the dynamic theatrical duo who has put together this year's hot August nights production of Hands on a Hardbody, which you do not want to miss. But
you know what I just realized?
What?
You didn't thread a mic up through here on me, and so I'm wondering if you're going to dub in a whole bunch of crazy stuff later.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to dub in you saying Mike Magnotti's the best actor I ever worked with. I don't know if I ever want to do anything again because
What? Mike Magnotti's in this show? I didn't know.
All right, well, tell us.
Oh my God,
I
that
did
is
see you
you.
moving some props one time.
I did. I was.
Yeah,
I was backstage. So.
Why is the prop guy yelling mine?
Well, I'd like to address that actually. This is our 7th show, and I've been on your show a lot of times.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 times.
Many times, and Mike has never even once expressed an interest in being in our show. And then he showed up at auditions, and I thought he was lost or possibly had stumbled out of a bar or something and wandered in.
Kind of what happened.
Yeah. And so I asked him about it, and he said his wife had okayed it for him to be in the show. And I thought,
I wanted to try out for Full Monty, and Rosie said,
absolutely not. Yeah.
No, but I always say to her,
don't try to go full. Never mind.
No,
I'm gonna let that go.
well, she just didn't want me intimidating everybody.
There we go.
But she said,
do you need to wear my hat for a minute? I'd like to just have. He does wear a Stetson in the show. That one's a little small on you, but
it suits you.
It
suits you.
It's Yosemite Sam right there. Yeah.
No, but I always say to her, I said, Jamie's doing the show. Can I try out? She says, I think you should. I said, are you going to complain?
Yeah.
And why? She says, yeah, but you should try out anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, Mike is perfect in his role as.
I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
He sweeps up after every show, and he's amazing.
Okay, well let's stop talking about me for a minute. Okay. Now the process of putting the show together. I mean, how do you guys do it? I mean,
well, we start with Jamie picking a title. You want to tell us a little bit about how you pick this?
Well, we pick it together, but I kind of this year I did not know what we wanted to do, and I talked about this a couple times with you, I think. We had a very successful production of The Full Monty. We were sold out every night. The audience loved it, and we're cheering and standing and throwing dollar bills at the end. And so people in the lobby, they're like, well, what are you going to do next year? How are you ever going to top this? And I never like to try to top anything. We choose something and we do the best we can.
We try to go
with
in a
that
different
production.
direction rather than top the same thing again.
Right. And you know, the Full Monty, people knew the title because of the movie, I think, more so than the Broadway show.
Exactly.
So they hadn't seen the Broadway show, or some people did. Anyway, so I told Matt Cadman at the time, I said, I need some time. I need to think about this. And I was going to be working up at Fielding Hills at the winery up there with my friends. And then I was going to be driving back across America, which, by the way, if you ever get a chance to do that, and you haven't, you should do that. I started driving and listening to musicals, and not everybody does that either. So I listened to a whole bunch of musicals, and I read scripts, and Don was like, oh, try this one, and I'm looking at this, and he'd send me a script on something, I'd read it, and I was listening to Hands on a Hardbody, and the music started resonating with me, and I kept waking up singing some of the tunes.
Oh, really?
And I said, there's something to this. Plus, it's just great stories. Great stories. And so we like to think of ourselves as storytellers. And so I called Don, and he was like, yep, this is it. And so then I presented it to Matt Cadman, and he goes, well, oh, really? You know, I don't really know that show. I said, read the script. And he came back literally the next day and said, wow, this is perfect for Wenatchee.
Okay, so you cast it like back in
January. Well, auditions in January.
Tell us the process of how you put all this together.
Yeah, we
do the auditions locally. Jamie usually tries to consolidate that with a trip either to the winery or to work on Follies or something like that. And we do the audition. We fill as many of the roles locally as we can, and then if we have a part or two or three that we feel like we just aren't seeing the right person for the way that we're casting the rest of the show, then we reach out to some of our connections out in New York, Chicago, LA, other places where we have worked. Florida, exactly. And we brought two people who have performed with us before. Alex Isom, who was in Rocky Horror and Bad Boy the Musical, which were our first two Hot August Nights production. And then I referred Christine Jane Capehart to the show. She was in EDM Antigone, which was our educational theater experience a couple of years ago. And then Bethany, who choreographed Cabaret, choreographed Chicago for us, and Lacage referred a young man, Anthony Arati, to us. And so we brought those three, and they round out the cast.
Excellent job.
It's been really fun to watch that blend and how they love working with the locals, and the locals love them, and it just makes a bigger world.
Absolutely.
And a more wonderful world.
Okay, so you cast it early, have us memorize the lines, but then how do you bring the rehearsals together?
Well, at the same time that that's happening, once we decide on a title, we start talking about how we're going to configure the stage. Because as you said, we've always put the show and the audience on the stage. And as soon as we decided Hands on a Hardbody, I knew that we needed to be in the round. Just like we would be on a car dealership if the bleachers had been set up around this truck. And so we said, okay, we're going to do this show in the round. And now we have the big problem of we've got this big truck in the middle of the stage. Do we want to give it away?
Like a wall.
Should we give it away?
No.
Don't give it away.
We don't know.
We're not going to give it away.
We don't know anything about it.
We don't know anything about it. There's a truck?
There's a buffet?
What?
I'm here for the buffet.
But we decide on the configuration, and then we start working that, and of course we have all of the business side of that, how many, we have to get 200 seats on stage, and how do we do that and still have acting space for the scenes that we need to act in, and how do we have space for the truck, and how are we going to move that truck around on stage, and so there's a lot of logistical questions that go with that, and I work with Mike Locke, who's the technical director and operations manager at the PAC, and he's just phenomenal.
We love Mike.
He does a great job.
He's amazing.
As our sound engineer last night, again, I was blown away because he's just so talented. But we work on all of that kind of nuts and bolts of the staging of it all, and make sure that it's realizable with our budget and with our resources. And Jamie starts doing the blocking based on our decisions.
And how do you set up the rehearsals? I mean.
I just go through the script, and I tend to like to go through things in order because I think and not everybody does that, it's just my thing. I like to see how the characters progress through the scenes and allow the actors to do that. Some people jump all over the place and they're doing this and that, but you know, we do this very quickly.
Right.
We start the day after 4th of July, and we open at the end of August. So we have about 3.5
Beginning of
weeks.
August.
Sorry, beginning of August.
Yeah. So we have 3 weeks, basically.
About 3.5 weeks to put a show together.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And it happens, and it works. And I like the accelerated timeline, but getting the characters to build and not saying, oh, you have to jump from this scene here and then be over here in this scene where your character is already expanded and you know, everything. So I like to watch them progress through rehearsals. That's just my thing. But we are very lucky. We have talented people. We have some extremely good actors, and the voices in this show will blow you away.
Yeah, they really will.
Just blow you away. I mean, every song, I'm like, I try to pick a favorite song in the show. I can't.
Yeah, I know. So because before we started, you said, what's your favorite part of the show? I mean, I named, 10 of them, you know? Yeah.
Well, I think it's so amazing that there's that level of talent in this show and in this community. I'm
and it's
blown
always
away by it all the time.
And one thing I've told Jamie, like I said, this is the first time I've been in a show with him and wanted to be in one, because how you get the talent and the energy out of these people has always been incredible. And you've just done a tremendous job.
We work really hard, don't we?
Yeah,
Mike comes in and goes, I thought I was going to sing a little song and walk off the stage.
Well, I warned him. I warned you at auditions. Remember I sang Mamas Don't Let You Babe? And I said, you know, this is, at my age, just about as upbeat as y'all going to get, son.
And have I pushed you a little further than
Yes,
that?
you have. Yes, you have. And I've fallen down, and I get back up.
Yeah.
And I fall down.
But you're giving a great performance, and I think everyone is.
It's a great
I'm
cast.
so inspired by this cast. It's an ensible piece. It's not really a star in the show. Everybody has a moment that is their big moment, and so I love that even more because that levels the playing field. And then everybody works together to create this wonderful show. So it's not like, oh, the stars, you know, do their thing and they get all the credit. It's not that at all. This is total ensemble show.
Absolutely. All right, so again, this is Hands on a Hardbody, okay? Now, you may not have heard of this show, but if you love musicals, or even if you don't, this is one to come to. Go to Numerica Pack on Google. It'll bring you where you get the tickets. There's tickets still available, so I'd get them as soon as you can. So we're going to come back and say goodbye to Don and Jamie in a minute. But hey, just a quick break. So Street Talk and other stuff. You stick around. We will be right back. So.
Break out the shorts and sunglasses. Summer is here. So, moms and dads, what have you planned for the kids this summer? Registration is now open to sign up online using our new RAC app or by calling the club. Our team of professionals have multi-sport camps, swim and tennis lessons, swim team, and much more packed into our summer schedule. I'm Emma, RAC membership coordinator, and we've got you covered with our full lineup of family fun. Special summer memberships are on sale now. More details at wrac.org or call 662-3544. The RAC, where we play every day.
Wenatchee Valley College is now offering 4-year degrees. The need for engineering technologists is rapidly growing, and the new Bachelor of Applied Science in Engineering Technology is designed to meet the needs of local employers. Students with an associate degree can complete the program in only 2 or 3 years. The program is accepting just 20 students for fall quarter. Apply now at wvc.edu/engineeringtech.
Okay, we're back with Don Fox and Jaime Donegan. Now, for the show, we have some sponsors you want to thank real
Absolutely.
quick. Right? So
We do. Our lead sponsor, again, for the 4th year is Tom and Vicky Michael, and we're so happy to have them.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
I know, great
And we have others, too.
We have others.
Cool. Well,
Nick McLean Real Estate, Avalon Music, North 40 Productions, and Coho 101. We thank all of our sponsors. They just make it possible. They make it possible for us to do this show.
Okay, cool. Well, again, Hands on a Hardbody. Go get your tickets at Numerica Pack. It opens this Thursday night, folks. Trust me on this, okay? All right, Street Talk and other stuff. Mike, Maddog, Magnotti, I want to say very thanks to Jamie.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks
Thank you,
to
Mike.
Don. Love having you guys here. And again, you stick around. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Hey, you see my belt buckle?
Have Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.